Mike Ryan just said to me, I have an unreal amount of sweat under my armpits right now.
He does.
Is it because you're scared, or you're scared of everything that's happening around here? Are you scared that I'm going to start with politics? What happens if I violate corporate policy today? Like, what ends up, how does that end up working?
I don't know if this is just residual stuff from the Browns-Steelers game yesterday, or if all the emotions are getting to me. But yeah, it's waterworks under these pits, baby.
All right, so there it is. Mike Ryan's armpits are crying because it is our last day at ESPN. I think we should start in the most cliche sports talk way possible by doing a stat of the day. I think that we should do something. You're asking me. It's the short one, Mike. We don't. Well, because this is an emotional day for us, and of course, it's going to end up being the short stat of the day.
Well, it's just, maybe.
What happened?
Maybe the long one, though. I've never done the long one.
Short one. We got a lot to pack in today.
I mean, if there's ever a time. But
what do you mean if there's ever a time? No, we've got a lot to. It's an emotional day for us here today. What do you mean? We can't just eat up show. That thing is too long. We can't play the long version of the stat of the day.
It's just on ESPN radio for 8 years. We've kept alluding to the fact that there's a longer version of the stat of the day. We always opt to play the shorter version, and maybe tie up loose ends. I'd like to hear the long version.
We gotta play it. But we gotta play the long version.
What's your favorite color? I never know. Let's go.
I mean, we got a lot to do, though.
You guys have to be kidding me. We got to get to weekend observations. We got to get to all our sponsors. We got to say goodbye to Christine Lisi, who is going to be happy today because of her Bills doing what they did to the Dolphins, but has also promised to be an Italian crier today. We do not have time. Are you guys joking? Like, people are expecting a fireworks show from us. They are expecting us to go out in a blaze of anarchy and glory. The number of texts I've gotten today, Dan, take the high road. All I keep getting, it's like it's trending on my phone. It's like high road.
Most of them from me.
Yes. And you guys are suggesting that today of all days we play the long stat of the day when for how many years? All we've ever played, I think. Have we ever played the long stat of the day?
No.
We didn't even, not even at the beginning? We've never played.
Don't do it. I was just joshing you guys.
I thought you were kidding. It's ridiculous.
I was just joking around. Don't do it.
You can't.
It's too long.
It's an emotional day.
Do it.
Really? The fired guy is going to really?
Yeah, let's do it.
What consequences are there for you? If you get in trouble, somebody will just rehire you.
You've started enough fires, Chris Cote.
That's about enough out of you.
Come on, let's get crazy. Come on.
Seriously?
We just have a lot to get to on today's show, guys. It's a goodbye to an ESPN audience that grew to love and or hate us simultaneously.
It's a football Monday. I mean, this is crazy what you guys are suggesting.
We have like 8 of Rick Springfield's favorite colors to get to still.
That's true.
Still been on hold throughout the holidays.
Just waiting to get to, well, we got to do that. What else do we have to clean up today?
Well, it's Monday. That means it's weekend observations. Already, I think we've run out of time for it.
Funniest thing from the sports weekend is today, and we've got to say our goodbye. We also have to tell people where they can find us beginning tomorrow because these ESPN platforms matter. They're big. We go off all of the ESPN platforms today. We will be gone. We will be erased from the ESPN, from ESPN's history, from all things ESPN. We got to tell people where they can get us.
At 12:01 Eastern, is that what happens?
They're 4 o'clock is when everything just gets purged. Everything I think I just sent Mike something with so many lawyer words in it, and I'm like, Mike, what's going to happen here? Are they just going to come in and just rush in and take all of the equipment out of here?
You remember that scene in E.T. when the government finds out that there's an extraterrestrial living in a house, and then all these people in suits and they just airlock the entire home? I think that's what's supposed to happen at 4 o'clock today.
Okay, so we'll see if we can get on the air tomorrow. We're attempting to do this on our own. These Disney platforms are helpful. What are you laughing at, Mike? I could barely see you because you're almost drowning from the amount of tears pouring from your armpits.
Perhaps an oversight by us to try this on our own.
E.T. a bit overrated, no?
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. Is E.T. a bit overrated? I think E.T. as a movie is too old to be referencing at this point, right? Like for a young person to be referencing it. Do you think there are a lot of people in our audience who don't even know what we're talking about when it comes to E.T.?
E.T. the ride, by the way,
Fantastic.
such a great escape from the sun on a hot summer day at the theme park. You know you're going to be in that fake forest. Spoiler alert, it's a fake forest. You know you're going to be in that fake forest for like half an hour just riding around on that bicycle in the air conditioner. I couldn't even tell you what it is that happens on that ride, but I know I'm going to get a little bit of AC. Also, I think contractually, and you can look this up, I think Spielberg has that ride there forever, like until the end of the world. That ride has to be there, and he makes like $30 million a year.
I've read so many phrases that are in perpetuity throughout the universe. I've read that so much recently.
I have to pay to go on that ride now, right?
Yeah, we do. Billy, you ever fight for that ET seat? There's one prime seat on that AT ride, the one that has the ET in front of you. You fight for that seat. I know you do.
I've never had that seat, but I do wonder how E.T. knows my name. I have to tell them my name. And the thing is that it kind of holds up the line. So sometimes they don't get my name. And I'm like, is he saying Guillermo? No, he's not saying Guillermo. He's just saying whatever mishmash of letters they put together. It's like going to Starbucks, right? It's like when you tell the barista at Starbucks, hey, this is my name. And they just make up whatever it is that they want your name to be. That's what happens at that E.T. line.
Billy, we don't have time for your yammering.
I'm sorry. I'll take it.
Real quick, Mike, tell people where they can find us real quick after today. ESPN Plus, we're going to be gone. ESPN app, we're going to be gone.
Yeah, we're all just going to gloss over the fact that Stugotz thinks Universal Studios is a Disney park anyways.
ESPN card, Mike.
Yeah, okay. So, look, I know a lot of new ears are probably listening to us curious as to what Dan might do today, but you might be surprised to find out that we've already put in like a day's work. There's a local hour and a Big Suey, which is a digital-only exclusive hour, and you can find that on the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz feed. And we will continue to put shows out there this week on that very same feed. So go ahead and subscribe now. If they're older shows you want to get around to, if you want to make sure you keep today's show because it's a little ambiguous as to when those shows might disappear from your phone, download those shows to your phone because they'll stay there.
If you're curious what Dan is going to say today, what he's going to say is the long version of the stat of the day is next.
Whoa!
From Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Ohio State ain't no bigger than USC. We on the same level, if not better.
Right into Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
The idea that 13 people watch the games and say, in my opinion, that team is better than that team, so they're going regardless of who earned what is stupid.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin at 6 Eastern, followed by Greeny at 10 Eastern. Coming tomorrow to ESPN Radio.
College football, it's the game you wake up early on Saturdays for, even though kickoff isn't until 7. The game where the Goodyear blimp becomes a Hall of Famer. The game that goes just beyond school, spirit, fandom, or love of the sport. It's the game where the comebacks happen. It's the game where anything can and will happen, as long as you have the drive. Because college football is the game that moves you. We get it because it moves us too. Goodyear, more driven.
Right now, Allstate has almost as many ways to save as there are types of music. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise. And save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent to get a quote. Find out how much you can save today. Allstate. Now that should be music to your ears.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Smoothbrook, Illinois.
And now, the SUI nominees for Best Mispronunciation. Eyes.
Our
Carrier.
Carrier.
Sight.
Dice the
Click today.
quick play.
Get.
Great.
Pizza.
Piazza.
Pearl Jam.
Burger.
Confidentiality. Stugotz. Fabric. Anyway.
Anyway.
Delicious.
Delivers.
Time.
Time.
Basic.
Bakes it.
Beginning.
Beginning.
Publicly.
Publicly.
Restaurant.
That's right.
Championship game.
Championship.
Right now.
Right now.
Deposit.
Deposit.
University.
University.
Iron.
Iron.
Deserved.
Deserved.
Box.
Box.
Interview.
Interview.
Honestly.
College.
College. Breakfast.
Breakfast.
Stepped up.
Stepped up.
Gentleman.
Gentleman.
Tight ends coach. Where?
Where?
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras.
All right, hold on a second. Mike.
Yes, what they do? Yes, they freeze. They spring with air. Oh my God, that's it! Look at that, it's incredible.
Stugotz called 911 when there was a frog in his house.
It was a bullfrog.
Can you imagine that frog screaming at Stugotz?
Don Lebatard.
I'm not thin.
Stugotz.
You think I look fat in these shorts?
This is the Don Lebatard Show on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average. All guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Goodyear Hotline. How about that? New hotline.
Wait a minute. What? They got a new hotline on our last day? All right. We don't have a lot of room today. We've been getting squeezed for a while around here. I didn't think we'd ever have room. We've never had room for the long version. The introduction of Stat of the Day, but I've got a good Stat of the Day today. Let's go.
Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is the start of the day.
Let's go, Uncle Luke. Bloody Miami bass in their face. Poppies coming. Poppies coming. Poppies coming. Poppies coming. Poppies coming. Poppies coming.
Hey people, listen up players. Cut the bleep. It is time to go on a journey. I will take a flamethrower to this place. Is it just me? Or is it a little warm in here? Get it. Flaming doodoo fire. Flaming doodoo fire. Flaming doodoo fire. So loud, so wrong. Flaming doodoo fire. Flaming doodoo fire. Flaming doodoo fire. Start the day. Maya like on that dome. Maya like on that dome. Maya like on that dome. The stat of the day. Maya like on that dome. Maya like on that dome. Maya like on that dome. What? No, unless you got bones on. Give it to me again. Poppies coming. Poppies coming. Poppies coming. Poppies coming. Woo! So loud. Woo! So wrong. Woo! It's the stat of the day. They can kiss my old Cuban ass. Start of the day. Start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day. Start of the day, start of the day. It is your start of the day.
Yo, who did this and who did that? Lay up, way up before they block that. That boy hot, he on fire. I'm talking back to back and stats don't lie. You gotta have these skills. You can't fake this up. It's going in the record book. You can't make this up. Man down, time out. Somebody break this up. Kick him out. Double tap. Show if he act up. Oh boy, my boy, it just got real. What you think this is? Oh, you gon' take this L for real?
Hey, yo, Method Man, one time for you, yeah. It's the stat of the day. Yep, the stat of the day. This ain't a Stephen King novel, so don't get carried away. I borrowed the line from Poppy while I was passing the J. Man, what happened to Gase? It's the stat of the day. Yep, the stat of the day. Long as the numbers don't lie, that's all that matters today. Shout to Poppy, cause he probably was a Mac in his day. MIA, where Dolphin must have been the catch of the day.
Stat of the day, right off the bat, it's off the map. Digging down in the almanac, who got the stat? Give it to us, just drop the facts, all of that. Running numbers, now I want the stat.
No time for arguments, yo, let me see them facts. Yo, don't you bother talking shit, I ain't got time for that. Before you claim a single thing, you better run it back. Ain't no racking up, no W's until I see them stats.
Who got the stat? Who got the stat? Who got the stat? Stat of the day. Stat of the day.
Matt Hasselbeck was struck by lightning twice. Sugar Ray Robinson's son is in the Hall of Fame for roller derby. What? 1.25 billion chicken wings get eaten on every Super Bowl Sunday. That's 625 million wings chickens. In 1943, the Steelers and the Eagles lost so many players to service in World War II that the teams combined, and they called it the Steagles. Stat of the day. Stat of the day. Stat of the day. I can't believe Dan thought Josh Allen would never be a good quarterback. Michael Phelps hit the longest golf putt ever made on camera at 159 feet. That's deep. The Harlem Globetrotters are originally from Chicago and known as the Savoy Big Five. And that ain't no jive. Joe Theismann's last name is actually pronounced Thiesman, but a marketing guy at Notre Dame got him to change it to Theismann, so Theismann rhymes with Heisman. Theismann, Heisman. Joe came in second that year to Jim Plunkett. Man, that don't even rhyme. Who would have thunk it? Stat of the day. Stat of the day. Stat of the day. Can't believe Dan thought Josh Allen would never be a good quarterback. Running backs don't matter. Sacks are not a QB stat. Magnus effect. Draft capital. True shooting percentage. That's what's win rate. What's a Pythagorean expectation? Spin efficiency. Yak like Kittle. Nobody's got yak like Kittle, man. Kittle's got crazy yak. Regress to the mean. Regress to the mean. Yeah, that's the stat of the day.
This is stats. Facts. Who's got the most touchdowns? Who's got the most assists in a game, in a season, in their whole career? Who just get hit by a pitch and who just scored a hat trick? And when was the stadium built and how long has it been? Stat of the day, stat of the day. This is
Oh my God, look who is here, our original G. Hit them with something sexy, Kenny G.
Stats. Facts. Of the day. Of life. Sacks. At bats. War.
Wins above replacement.
What's it even good for? Points per game. Touchdowns in a season. Pass rush win rate. Is there even a reason for this?
Fork and Babbitt, regression to the mean. Strikes and blocks and carries. Who's your MVP? How many times have they done it? How many years has it been? How many ways has it been done to go down in history? Stat of the day, stat of the day.
I told you it was too long. Now we don't even have time to give a stat of the day. I told you it was too long. We don't have time for that today.
Nothing in life is free. Time for some ads.
The stat of the day is my favorite color is black.
Wow.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, see that one coming. Not a stat?
Yep.
I thought it was your second favorite color.
DraftKings, Stugotz, tell them.
It's been an exciting football season. Luckily for us football fans, there's still more action to be had. Playoffs, an expanded playoffs, a super wild card weekend. I cannot wait, and DraftKings is here to help you make it rain. DraftKings is America's leading daily fantasy app, paying out over $7 billion to their players. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now and use code Dan. For a limited time, new customers get a free shot. Very limited time, by the way. New customers get a free shot at
Very limited. Very limited time.
4 o'clock today, I think. Have a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes this week. That's code Dan to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. Only at DraftKings. Make it rain. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for all the details.
From Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Tell me why we deserve the opportunity to be mentioned with these dudes, whether we get run out of the building or not.
Right into Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
If you're going to play the position the way they had him play it in Carolina, then you better be ready for an 8-year career.
The opinions, the analysis, the passion. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin at 6 Eastern, followed by Greeny at 10 Eastern. Coming tomorrow to ESPN Radio.
If I learned one thing from this great game of baseball, it's that she'll humble you. You think you've got it figured out, you check the standings, and you're in last place again. I'm Eric Rubino, Fantasy Baseball GM, and I can put my team in position to win every single time, but I can't play the games, people. At least Progressive's Name Your Price tool has options based on my budget. It never lets me down, unlike my pitching staff. Amateurs!
Get options based on your budget with Progressive, even if you're not a legend in your own mind. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Carmen's startup found an angel investor.
But now they're asking for a miracle from her development team.
Hello, this is Carmen. That's exciting news. I guess we could launch early.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Our new house is amazing.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Hulu has live sports. Hulu.
Damn, that was dope. But it's Hulu doesn't just have live sports.
I don't know, man.
We can make that work, right?
Hulu doesn't just have live sports, it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm Joe Thomas, and I am being paid to be here, but Just the Cheese f***ing rocks. It's 100% cheese made right here in Wisconsin. You gotta check it out.
Down every road is a story. The farther you go, the more wild and unexpected they get. But those are the ones you remember, and tell and retell. So you need the right machine to find them. A capable machine that's tough and enduring. That's why, when we built the all-new Sorrento, we didn't just build another SUV. We built the world's first storytelling machine.
This is star power from the jump.
This is the best of the bad gooders this kid.
The king is back. All I know is every time I think I hit myself, I go higher than I've ever been. Shady.
So we have a shared microwave here that we share not only with ourselves, which is what, like 8 or 9 of us, whatever it is, plus the TV crew. And someone is microwaving something very foul smelling. Allison cannot let this go. She is saying so loud, whose food? Who would do this? What bleep did this?
Slash, don't bring fish to work and microwave it in the tiny space that we
I'm
work.
with her
It's
on that.
I am too.
disgusting.
Yeah, 'cause
Are
you're
you
in this
starting to
room,
smell
so it's
this?
Guillermo, put it on the poll at Lebatard
I'm going
Show.
to stand next to the microwave and find out who it is.
Oh my God.
Allison was right.
Disgusting.
Allison was right.
Clothespin for my nose. Tupperware is melting. It's been in there so long.
That's mine! That's mine! I thought it was mine!
Don't open that! Do not open that!
Did you steal my lunch and eat it?
Lebatard's fault.
Ew, it smells terrible.
It does. Broccoli.
It is. It's
Who
broccoli.
microwaves broccoli?
It's yours.
It is mine. It is mine.
Somebody call OSHA.
Talking all that smack about me.
Dan said he was with
Oh
her.
my God, I'm next to it. I'm next to it.
Get that out of here.
Dan agreed with you.
What is that?
It's well, it looks like really old broccoli and some chicken.
Oh my God.
In Tim Kirchin's voice, some of Pitbull's lyrics so that he could dig deep into his soul. He could feel what it's like to wear incredibly tight white pants with a women's batting practice shirt.
Esta tan linda. Esta tan rica. Tien tremendo culo.
Excellent.
Nailed
That was
it.
terrible.
No, it was great.
Nailed
No,
it.
it
You
was
read
great.
it like you've heard that
It was
song
great.
before.
It was.
Yes.
You,
What
it
did
sounded
I
like
just
you were
say?
singing it.
What did that mean?
Don't worry about it.
Just that a little.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, the Jaguars have joined the Jets, Falcons, Lions, and Texans as NFL teams with current head coaching openings. Jacksonville today fired coach Doug Marrone. One day after finishing a 1-15 season, the Jags' vacancy should be highly sought after as the team has the top overall pick in the draft and 4 in the first 2 rounds. The Bengals bringing back coach Zach Taylor next season. Eagles coach Doug Peterson, addressing reports that quarterback Carson Wentz wants a trade, said his mindset going into the offseason is that they can correct things together and get this back on track. Peterson added he has faith in Wentz and himself to get the job done.
Hey, it's Greeny, back and better than ever Monday as the Browns are in the playoffs. Tampa time is going in hot, and the Jet season is mercifully over. We'll talk about that and more with me, Greeny. And starting Tuesday, we're moving to 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN+.
Dan Le Batard.
Stugotz is disgusting.
Stugotz.
Yep.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
All guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Goodyear hotline, helping you discover the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven.
So Goodyear shows up after a bad year. Goodyear shows up and sponsors our hotline on our very last day at ESPN.
Still time for me to get free tires? I mean, how about that?
There is not there's not time for anything around here today. Our time is done at ESPN in, I don't know, fewer than 90 minutes. A reminder again, we will continue to tell you because we keep getting the question if we disappear from your ESPN app, ESPN Plus. There's a guy out there wearing, the guy out there is holding up signs. We can't see it here in the studio because they've turned our televisions off. But I am told there is someone funny outside. If you still watch us on ESPN television, that is something that goes away today. So if you want our stuff, you need to get it wherever it is you download podcasts with your devices. Le Batard and Friends Network, the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz. Going to tell you a few more times because this platform is a mighty one, and we are jumping off a cliff at about noon Eastern. Now, this here is going to be bittersweet because this cruel woman, yeah, she must be very happy today because her parting gesture here for us at ESPN is to have the Bills knock the Dolphins out of the playoffs. They started Josh Allen at wide receiver so he wouldn't get the loss on his resume yesterday, and then they didn't lose. They scored 50 points, and Christine Lisi, this must be a bittersweet day for you. Let's give her the kazoos, please.
I was not sad about yesterday. And finally, fart is one of the oldest words in the English language. Speaking of a couple of old farts, Dan and Stu, back to you.
That's good work you're doing, Christine. Christine, that's important work you're doing, okay? I know you're going to miss, but look, Greenberg's not going to let you do that, Christine.
No, I know.
No.
Michael will not let me do that.
You should just take shots at us.
You should. Can you do that? Just leave us like a lingering smell in the bathroom on Greenberg's show. Just take shots at us during your updates for Mike Greenberg going forward. Thank you, Christine. We will check in with you a couple of more times today. Mike, are you okay back there?
Did they turn off the AC or something? It's bad over here.
There is nothing working around here. I mean, my garage cord, I have no access.
Look,
crazy. Your tires anyway.
Let me explain to you what is happening around here so that you guys understand, okay? Is that Bob with the miner's helmet? He is holding the whole thing afloat. And Mike Ryan is saying, if this jump off the cliff does indeed succeed, Bob the engineer with the miner's helmet is going to be on the cover of Forbes in 2 years. But for right now, we have no idea whether we're going to be able to get on the air tomorrow. So I'm sitting here telling you to download all these devices and stuff, but I'm not totally sure that we're going to get to you tomorrow.
Why Forbes?
I'm missing like 3 keys to get in the joint.
I'm going to call listeners tomorrow personally and just do a private show.
On which phones?
You'll have to pay for mine. Cameo. How about that?
Stugotz starts on Cameo tomorrow. He plans on defeating Cameo. That is a greed that has no precedent. It opens the floodgates. Are you even going to wait until tomorrow? Are you going to try and sneak it in? I mean, what are they going to do to you if you do it after we leave the air at noon?
High road, Dan. I am going to wait until midnight tonight, but I'll be up at midnight, and at 12:01 a.m. I'll be sending out my first cameo. It's all I got right now.
It's the only source of income in your arsenal right now?
Providing the funds clear, by the way. Still waiting on a buyout. So listen, I'm going to be patient.
Okay. Yes. The only way that Stugotz has to make money right now is cameo and fraud and theft. We've got a Stugotz 30 for 30 coming up here. We've got funniest thing from the sports weekend. We got weekend observations, all that. How are we going to do that?
I mean, that side of the day really didn't put us behind the eight ball.
I told you it was going to.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg is coming to your mornings.
The Cowboys should blow it up, hit the plunger. That whole thing doesn't work. You need to remake that entire defense.
Greeny, immediately following Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Carson's issues will be with the coaching staff and the organization.
Greeny at 10 a.m. Eastern, tomorrow on ESPN Radio.
Download the DraftKings app today and use code DAN to get in on all the action.
If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you that running a business is tough, but you might be making it harder on yourself than necessary. Don't let spreadsheets slow you down anymore. It's time to upgrade to NetSuite. Stop paying for multiple systems that don't give you the information you need when you need it. Ditch the spreadsheets and all the old software you've outgrown. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control over your financials and HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Everything you need, all in one place, instantaneously. Whether you're doing $1 million or hundreds of millions in revenue, save time and money with NetSuite. Join the over 24,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Let NetSuite show you how they'll benefit your business with a free product tour at netsuite.com/Greeny. Schedule your free product tour right now at
Billy created a character called People before any of us actually knew what People. Then, a few months later, a guy comes to work for us, and his name is actually People.
Yeah! People!
People's here!
Yeah!
People! People, what's happening? People, the coffee supplier is here! People has arrived heroically.
No, people. No.
You guys want shots?
It's too early for this. Too early for shots. Even by Miami standards, it's too early for the aggressive.
One more time.
Down the hatch.
All right, everybody, throw it down.
Oh, wow, people.
People drinking it straight from the cup. Jesus. Wait a minute. How did Billy end up not wearing a shirt? Well, Monty, the DMX story. That's funny.
I mean, I would first like to say apparently Mina does a very good DMX. If you sound like the Cookie Monster, you're halfway there.
Pat Riley and Phil Jackson ahead of Timmy D and Steve Nash.
X gonna give it to you.
No, try it again. Hold on. You got 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds. If you got anything better, hurry up.
X gonna give it to you.
Who are you?
Who are you? You okay?
Oh, you okay?
That's my boy. You good?
Are you okay?
You good? You got rid of that
I was
cough?
going to say, you guys are going to get it pretty
you
quick.
okay?
You good?
Yes.
You good?
It's John Lovitz, by the way, if you hadn't figured it out.
Don Le Batard.
I feel like I've been framed.
Stugotz.
Dead giveaway.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Time to see who got it done. It's brought to you by Grainger for the first time in nearly 2 years, Dan. How about this? John Wall played in an NBA game. Wall had been away for 735 days due to surgeries to remove bone spurs in his left heel and repairing a torn Achilles tendon. He was traded from the Wizards with a first-round pick to the Rockets for Russell Westbrook. Then he made his debut on Thursday in 37 minutes. Wall scored 22 points, 9 assists, grabbed 6 boards. In the Rockets' 122-119 win over the Kings, John Wall getting it done. With supplies and solutions for every industry, Grainger is always there to help. Call, click Grainger.com/safety, or just stop by a branch.
STUGOTZ'S weekend observations are coming. The final STUGOTZ weekend observations on ESPN Radio are coming in about 15 minutes. I got to thank some people for that long stat of the day. Tell me if I forget anybody. Kenny G, Trick Daddy, Luther Campbell, Mayday, Oigo, Eric Garcia. Who were the listeners that put something together for us in the middle of that?
Yeti, and we also had Method Man, who self-identified there.
You forgot your dad.
My dad was also in there, clearly on a Zoom from far away because we couldn't get the audio right, and that's with Disney resources. So we will see how this ends up going tomorrow. We will continue to tell you today, forgive me for the redundancy, but a lot of people are asking because this is all very awkward because we're saying this emotional goodbye, and for many of you, we're just going to be here again tomorrow if Bob ends up on the cover of Forbes in 2 years. Bob with his miner's helmet, the engineer. But we plan on being here tomorrow and trying to give you a little something tomorrow. We will see if that happens. But so that you know, Le Batard and Friends Network, the podcast feed, the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, South Beach Sessions, Mystery Crate, Stupidity. You need to get all of them on your devices because what's going to end up happening here is today we are going to be erased. Like, we are going to be gone. It's not just that we're not going to appear on anything on ESPN tomorrow. Everything we did today is going to evaporate like cotton candy at the end of today.
I've got no idea how long today's episodes are going to stay on your feed. So if you're subscribed, as soon as you get those notifications when they post, download those episodes directly to your phone so you can continue to listen to them.
I think my ESPN email address is no longer active.
I saw a guy lurking outside thinking about taking our tiles in here and a microphone. Yes, there are people lurking around here trying to take their stuff back. Thanks to Andrew Streeter as well, who helped with the song. The listener community, and I probably, I'm going to try not to get any more emotional than I already did in the Big Suey, which you can download. It's the digital-only hour. But the community around this show is unlike anything that has ever existed in sports radio. Jim Rome, a long time ago, would be the only thing that is close. But the creative community around this show who appreciates different and appreciates something that is sarcastic and mocking and fun and competes to be more clever than the next man or woman is a thing to behold, because many of you produce the show with us and for us. You produce a lot of the funny around what it is that we're doing. And one of the reasons that we know we could leave as mighty a platform as ESPN, because there's not anything like ESPN anywhere in American sports. It doesn't exist. The fact that we know that we can leave that because we know the army that stands at attention at our back, saluting Stugotz, who's running the cameo, who's leading the entire army.
12:01 tonight in High Road.
Over to cameo. It is a deeply moving thing for us. It gives us permission to do this nonsense the way that we do it. And it has given us rewards to do this nonsense the way that we do it. And we know how you support it because of how loud and passionate you are. So I cannot articulate for you, even having worked with words for a living all my life. And all of this is built upon words. When ESPN was hiring writers all over the place, because, man, Stugotz, if you know the history of this network, The Sports Century series was one of the early presidents of ESPN, before he was the president of ESPN, was discovering, hey, sports writers are good talking for free on television and documentaries. He parlays Sports Century, he parlays that into president of ESPN. And now, because Stephen A. Smith is the GOAT, I believe he's Stephen A. Smith's agent now. I think that's what happened there, if I'm not mistaken. But then you saw what blossomed from there in terms of 30 for 30s and the idea that sports writers talking on your television is something that, I don't know if it was the golden era of ESPN, because I imagine the 90s were that's probably the golden era of ESPN was the 90s. But the 30 for 30s and the content creation within that, it was spawned by writers coming in here and doing journalistic work. And what I would say to you is, even having worked with words for a living all my life, I simply cannot articulate to you the amount of gratitude that I have for the people who listen to this show and support it with a fervor that has never been seen in sports radio, because it is crazy to me what it is that you allowed us to build, and ESPN helped. ESPN got us to you, but the stickiness when we arrived on your doorstep is something that emboldens us. It is something. I was hired here, Stugotz, specifically for a culture change.
Right.
Culture change. 8 or 9 fire starters were hired to see if they could move the big corporate mountain, and the audience that believes in this show allowed. What you see now on NFL Live is allowed. That is allowed. And by the way, while we're at it, if Riddick, if he gets a job in the NFL,
right,
Mina Kimes needs to be considered for his position. Let's go, ESPN. Let's show some onions and hire Mina Kimes for a position right there on your Monday Night Football telecast, because she's as good as anyone that you have in the history of this network talking about football and combining personality with football.
No doubt, that'd be great. Or hire her to be your GM. I mean, one or the other.
Which job do you think Mina prefers? Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at Le Batard Show. Which job would Mina Kimes rather have? General manager of a football team or analyst on Monday Night Football? Stugotz, are you going to get emotional during your final weekend observations here?
No. I'm not. I'm just
count
seconds,
the minutes till cameo.
Hours till 12:01 High Road.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know what a high road is? I'm not sure.
Nope.
You don't have any.
But I'm taking it.
All right. I don't think you are.
This is LeBron James, and you're listening to the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. DriveWise is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Sports is using technology to take the fan experience to the next level. When it comes to hiring for your business, there's one solution that's been advancing its technology for years, ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. ZipRecruiter's technology identifies people with the right experience and invites them to apply to your job. No wonder 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Greeny.
What do we got first for John Amici?
Delivers.
I don't know whether it's delivers or delicious.
I think it's delicious.
I think it might be delicious.
It is delicious.
Oh, Meech.
Boom.
Meech.
Okay, that's the easy one, Meech.
That's the easy one. You usually get the first one.
Frowns.
What?
Oh, this is just.
Yeah, well, you see?
Hold
Look,
on.
that's why you got to get the first one.
Let's hear it again. Frowns.
I don't know. I have no idea. Thrones?
Thrones is a good guess. What's your guess, Stugotz?
Toads?
Toads? I think it might be France.
Or tones.
In what context would you have to say tones on the radio?
I thought that one was easy. That's phone.
Phone? All right. Where? I think I know it. Where? Where?
What is your guess, Stugotz?
Should we just go with where?
Where?
Yes.
Meech is right.
Whoa!
Wow!
Say?
Wait,
I was going to go with
a
that,
guess?
actually, but I
I
was
like
going to go with that as my guess.
That? It's not
That.
that.
Let's go with that.
Pretend? What?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It is tight ends coach.
No way. You get the hell out of here. That's not tight ends coach.
We've got proof, man.
All right, let me hear the proof.
He's not going straight from. He might improve. Mike's right. He might improve his coaching status.
That's just simply an unfinished thought.
You are your own shorthand. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's unfair what they just did to you. Totally unfair.
You lose.
Yeah, you do lose.
I'm Christine Lisi. This is what you need to know. The Jaguars are the 5th and latest NFL team in the market for a new head coach. Coming off the worst season in franchise history, Jacksonville fired Doug Marrone today. The Jags opening is a desirable one. The team has the top overall pick in the NFL draft and 4 in the first 2 rounds. Bengals coach Zach Taylor will return next season. Team president Mike Brown said the franchise remains optimistic about Taylor despite a 6-25-2 record the last 2 seasons. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Texans asking for permission to interview Patriots Director of Player Personnel Nick Caserio for their GM job.
Hey, it's Greeny, back and better than ever Monday as the Browns are in the playoffs. Tampa time is going in hot, and the Jet season is mercifully over. We'll talk about that and more with me, Greeny. And starting Tuesday, we're moving to 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN+.
Dan Le Batard.
Welcome, brown people.
STUGOTZ'S.
Point guards are floor generals.
Did you really just do that to me?
I did.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
All guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Goodyear Hotline. Check out the NFL Wild Card Playoff matchup between the Ravens and Titans Sunday, 1:05 Eastern on ESPN, ABC, and in Spanish on ESPN Deportes. You can also check out the Megacast on ESPN2, ESPN Plus, and Freeform.
Less than 1 hour remaining in a hell of a run here at ESPN. We will get to Stugottz's weekend observations in a moment, but we will have failed as an entity if we do not get Christine Lisi to blubber on air. We've got 2 chances left here the rest of the show. The kazoos and the insults do not help us.
Yeah, but I think, I feel like this is the happiest she's been in
This
probably
is the problem.
2 decades
This is the
today.
problem.
Right.
This is the problem. We have met her.
The Bills are good.
Yeah, her triumphant
Really
day.
good.
Yeah, they're really good. They scored 50. They ended the Dolphins yesterday. Give her kazoos.
Yesterday was payback for the 1970s. And finally, giving your child a smartphone is like giving them a gram of cocaine. Speaking of cocaine, congrats to Mike on your Browns finally making the playoffs.
Yes, congratulations. Why are you so happy about getting that insult, Mike? Christine, how are you feeling today? I want the entireties. I want to crack open your chest cavity and see your soul. Give it to us all. What are you feeling today?
I'm still pretty excited about the Bills.
That's not what I wanted. Get out of here.
I will miss you guys. I will. But I'm really excited.
Enjoy that Mahomes character in the AFC Championship game.
Thanks, jerk.
See you later. One more chance. I don't think she's going to be the Italian crier today. The Bills have her too happy. Let's get to Stugottz's weekend observations.
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Dan, after not playing a game in 2 years and coming back with 22 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds, combined with a big win over the Sacramento Kings. And Dan, just like that, John Wall is back. Speaking of back, we'll be back tomorrow on the Batard and Friends Podcast Network. Dan Le Batard Show with STUGOTZ'S. Subscribe, rate, and review.
Yes.
Then unsubscribe, resubscribe until we're number one.
Yes.
Kirby Smart, when you have some time, I'd like to introduce you to a salad. Dan, what happened there?
Come on.
What happened? I don't even know how that got in there. Dan, you know what the K in Kirby stands for? Not kale. You know what the S in smart stands for? Not salad. The S actually stands for stupidity. Speaking of stupidity, you'll be able to find 2 brand new episodes this week as part of the Batard and Friends Podcast Network. Download wherever you get your podcast.
Yes.
Of the 4 head coaches in the college football playoff, based on physical appearance alone, the one that looks like I would at least want to be friends with is Brian Kelly. Friends. Speaking of them, Le Batard and Friends Podcast Network. New episodes tomorrow. Please subscribe, rate, and review. Listening's optional.
Are you going to do this? Oh, you're going to do this the whole
perhaps
time?
A tradition unlike any other. The Rose Bowl in Arlington, Texas. Speaking of traditions, make it a daily tradition to subscribe, rate, and review to the Batard and Friends Podcast Network. Is there a quieter night on the calendar than January 1st? How'd Ohio State do? I didn't watch. Calling Luca the Beluga Whale seems kind. Jesus, the offseason was like 3 weeks ago.
I don't understand.
Sheesh.
I don't understand how he gained weight that fast, and I'm an expert at gaining weight fast.
You said it, not me. Mark Sanchez works for ESPN.
He does?
Sanchez. Speaking of Mark Sanchez, the Dan Le Batard Show podcast.
I don't.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
You're the Sanchez.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, tomorrow we'll be on Batard and Friends Podcast Network. You know what the T in Tom Herman stands for, Dan?
Oh, for the love of God.
Not Texas. Speaking of T, the Batard and Friends Podcast Network. Subscribe, rate, and review.
Speaking of T.
Yeah, of course. You didn't see the how I tied that all together there? See.
Can you please stop doing that?
Maybe.
You're not going to stop doing
We've
that.
got one last chance to do this.
I know, but you can get through a few thoughts without doing it.
Yeah, perhaps. Now that we've cleared out all the smoke coming from Vlade Divac's office, we could finally see the Sacramento Kings clearly. And you know what? Not terrible. Vlade Divac reminds me. Le Batard and Friends Podcast Network.
I don't understand why that is.
Whatever medicine Ohio State has under that red tent probably isn't suitable for most animals.
It's so wrong. It is so wrong. Like, how do people not complain about what is happening in college football where Justin Fields is sent out there with needles all over him just to get to the finish line?
Justin Fields, I get it. The Peloton hurts, but football doesn't. Give me a break. A sell job by him.
Really?
What do you mean?
You don't think he was hurt?
Diagnosis, anyone? I mean, the doctors didn't even dare give him that. I mean, I would ask the kid if he wants to go back into a game.
No, he's in pain. He just runs to the sidelines, and they start injecting him from all points on the field.
Go ahead, Jags. I dare you to take Fields, number 1. Tua, if you're the Dolphins, what do you do?
No.
Classic catch, 22. The Titans did what the Titans do, Dan. I don't know what that means, but it just feels like the Titans did what the Titans do.
Can you define catch 22? Like, do you know what a catch?
No, but speaking of things you have to do, Le Batard and Friends Podcast Network tomorrow, new episodes. Subscribe, rate, and review. If I'm redrafting this year's rookie class, Justin Herbert goes number 1. Justin Jefferson goes number 2. How about that? Pair of Justins, huh? Couple of Justins, cutting it up. I feel like whenever you put Nate Sudfeld in the game, that you're giving up. They should replace throwing in the towel with throwing in Nate Sudfeld.
I agree.
Put Nate Sudfeld on a stick and wave him around. It's like waving the white flag. Sudfeld. Jesus. You would have thought the Eagles took out Joe Montana yesterday. Jalen Hurts had 7 completions.
But you cannot win anything in sports with someone named Nate Sudfeld.
They threw in the Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah.
Anyway, Trevor Lawrence, whether it's the Jags or the Jets, get used to being down 21 at the half. Not certain the Nets are any good, but hell, they're fun to watch. Speaking of hell, Dan, Art Briles.
Oh, wow.
Dan, those are the weekend observations.
Those are the final weekend observations. Stugotz, you do not seem in any way emotional. You're okay. You're
cameo.
Okay, cameo at midnight. Billy, what's going on? What's going on with you? Are you amazed by Stugotz just looking? He's just counting minutes until
He's a robot. No emotions.
He's an ATM. That's what he is. Except he works in reverse. He doesn't spit out any money. You get near him and he just grabs it from you.
Nothing in life is free. Time for some ads.
All right, let's take a second here for our friends at Grainger. For the ones who get it done, Grainger is always there to help. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, 24/7 support, free access to product specialists, and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Plus, their Keep Stock inventory management solutions help ensure you have the right stuff in the right place at exactly the right time. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by our branch. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
From Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
Kansas City, New Orleans has a lot of toys, but they all been together. There's all sorts of continuity issues that are going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right into Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
They need to start that thing over again, and you don't start over again around a $38 million quarterback who you have for 1 year.
The opinions, the analysis, the passion. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin at 6 Eastern, followed by Greeny at 10 Eastern, coming tomorrow to ESPN Radio.
If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you that running a business is tough, but you might be making it harder on yourself than necessary. Don't let spreadsheets slow you down anymore. It's time to upgrade to NetSuite. Stop paying for multiple systems that don't give you the information you need when you need it. Ditch the spreadsheets and all the old software you've outgrown. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control over your financials and HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Everything you need, all in one place, instantaneously. Whether you're doing $1 million or hundreds of millions in revenue, save time and money with NetSuite. Join the over 24,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Let NetSuite show you how they'll...
Greg, stay back there for a second because I want to talk about you with the people. And just stand, can you stand in a part of that room where everyone can drink you in? The leather boots, where we can drink in what's happening in the Speedo situation. What just happened, Greg, is you were late for this segment because you were going to the bathroom. And now I want you to come in here and explain to the people, please, everything that just happened with how difficult it was. I mean, I got to imagine, are you wet anywhere? What? Like, that looks uncomfortable to do what you just did.
No, I was able to do it, but it's very time-consuming. You know, you have to take the suspenders off, and then you have to take your sleeves out.
Right.
You have to, I'm trying to unzip back here, which is almost impossible. Then you got to slide this down, and, you know.
All right, but
what an ordeal.
I think a lot of people just assume Kawhi Leonard's leaving after this year, and I'm here to tell you he is not leaving. He loves Toronto so much that he is going to stay there. It's an easier path to the NBA Finals. Kawhi Leonard stays with Kyle Lowry in Toronto for the next 10 years, and they win multiple championships together. That's what I like to call the cherry on top.
I dreamed that I was on my last show on the Le Batard show, my farewell show.
This might be it.
It could be, where you allow me to say that I'm retiring when, in fact, you've privately fired me. And guess who's singing my outro song? Jimmy Buffett is in the studio singing Lovely Cruise, and that's how I go out. It's been a lovely cruise.
Please give me.
I am shocked to the point of weeping when all of a sudden, we've got a special guest to sing farewell for you, and Jimmy Buffett comes in.
And he walks through the door of the tiny room with a guitar.
Yeah. And it's not the entire Coral Reefer band, but he's not alone. He's got like a couple of guys with him.
It's Dan, Stu, and Greg Cote on ESPN Radio.
Dan Le Batard.
Yo, chicken time.
STUGOTZ'S.
Smarter God.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the STUGOTZ'S on ESPN Radio.
Stugotz, we're on the air.
I know we are. I was trying to find the billboard. A lot of emails coming in. I'm sorry about that, Mike. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Drivers who save with Progressive save over $750 on average. If you missed any of the show, that's conversational.
No, you were checking out Cameo, weren't you?
I swear, Dan, I was.
You want to
maybe? I was
going to say.
I'm on like 1,000 requests.
Computer.
I mean,
I couldn't see what you
now I'm
want.
going to think I can set the price. I think I might have set it too low. I have to revisit this. I got the Cameo guys. Listen, this is all I got set up after today.
You'd think after 8 years on ESPN, we'd establish some sort of nonverbal communication for I'm not ready yet.
You're right.
But no, just blankly looking into
He was
dollar
just
signs.
staring into his future, and he had dollar signs in his eyes.
You guys are right. I apologize. I will try to be more professional for the next.
Oh, for the love of God. Why would you make that promise?
Dan, it's time for Straight Talk. It's brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. I left out the conversational part if you would like to have that.
The conversational part is we have fewer than 42 minutes left in our ESPN future, and we are asking you again that if you want to come with us as we evaporate from ESPN Plus, ESPN Television, ESPN Radio, the way to do it is Le Batard and Friends Podcast Network on your devices, and the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, also Stupidity Mystery Crate, as Stugotz mentioned many times, and South Beach Sessions. Also, need to thank here Lorenzo. This is his last day with us, and even though I am not normally grateful for Lorenzo pinballing all over the place with inefficiencies, I am grateful for how much he cared about the televised product of our show. He was a bit of a one-man show, too much stuff spinning on too many plates for him, and the way that he cared was evident in the way that this show was televised.
And Dan, just to answer your question, I am emotional today. I'm not just looking forward and emotional about Cameo at 12:01 tonight, although I am emotional and excited about that. Today is an emotional day because of people like Lorenzo and the folks up in D.C. and all the people at ESPN who help make this show go every single day, both on radio and TV. We are grateful to all those people, but mostly I have the same feelings that you have. I am grateful to our audience who followed us from local to ESPN. Show changed just a little bit, but not too much, and they stayed with us. They stuck with us, and I am certain and confident they'll follow us to our next destination, wherever that is. Right now it's Cameo, and tomorrow it's Le Batard and Friends Podcast Network. But I have no doubt that they'll be there for us because they've always been there for us. And I don't think they know just how much that means to both me and Dan and the shipping container and everyone involved in this show. Your support is what brings us back here every day, and the paychecks are what brings me back here every single day. We love doing this show for you. Period. End of discussion.
And to be clear on the messaging one more time, Le Batard and Friends Podcast Network is where you get our side projects. That's where you'll find your South Beach Sessions, your Mystery Crates, your Stupidities, and the Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz, which is a behemoth, consistently in the top 3 of sports podcasts. That'll be where you find whatever it is we're doing during this pirate radio phase, Dan. We're going to give you some shows here during this little bit of free agency.
What is the hat you're wearing today?
It's Odell Beckham Jr., Dan. Shout out OBJ.
They're better without him.
I mean, maybe Baker Mayfield. Maybe Baker Mayfield. I mean, he doesn't turn the ball over, at least through the air, as much without Odell Beckham Jr. But, I mean, the whole offense is designed to get one-on-one matchups, and this guy's a brilliant playmaker. So it is a bummer. It's one of those things that you don't actually say, hey, they overcame losing a receiver like Odell Beckham Jr. But you guys, you don't have to talk Browns. It's about you guys and not about my 18-year playoff drought.
But which is it, though, when it comes to Baker Mayfield? Is it that Odell Beckham left or that Baker Mayfield was hurt and playing in cruddy weather games? And so since week 7, with Higgins running around out there for him, since week 7, he is statistically, he's been an above-average quarterback, correct?
He and Jarvis Landry both went through the rib injuries after Odell tore his ACL in that Cincinnati game. After that interception that Odell was chasing down, Baker statistically had his best game ever, and then he played a quarter of the season in terrible weather where he had like 6 drives against the Raiders and stuff like that. But the Browns and Baker Mayfield's offense got better as the season progressed, as they got healthy. Now, they did lose all the receivers against the New York Jets in a game that, in retrospect, odd that it got played at the same scheduled start time. But a lot has been made of Baker Mayfield. He's a hot-button issue on ESPN, but nail that draft pick. Number 1 overall. He told the people in charge, like, I'm the guy that can drag you out of this. This was a winless team before he came to it, and now, after 18 years, he delivered on a promise.
As a Jet fan, I could tell you, I was super happy for Mike and Browns fans because I have suffered 40 years. I've been a fan of that team, and I have had precious little to root for. Basically nothing. They've never made a Super Bowl. And to see the emotion from Baker Mayfield and Browns fans on social media and just Cleveland, everyone involved with that organization, it was kind of cool. And I think the cool thing for Mike and this team is this team can win on the road, at home, bad weather, good weather, because of the foundation that they have created. Those 2 running backs on that offensive line is fantastic.
You need to slow down a little there. I mean, they were
they can.
But they were outscored this season. Like they allowed more points than they scored. That if I keep doing that over the course of many seasons, they're usually not going to have that statistic is not going to result in getting into the playoffs.
I understand that analytical argument against. I will say if you watch every game, there are mitigating factors. There are games that they had in hand and allowed backdoor covers on several occasions, actually. But this is such a special thing, and you don't really get to the point where, like, wow, we're satisfied. I mean it. I'm super, like, whatever happens Sunday night against the Steelers.
People have stopped laughing. They've stopped laughing at the Browns.
Which is huge. I've made so many friends just on social media from Browns fandom that I was DMing them. I'm like, hey, what's your cell phone number? And I would FaceTime them to celebrate because it was just, like, pure joy.
You're going to love this. Adam Gase, who I actually thought had a chance to remain the Jets head coach. I did. Bruce Feldman is reporting that Nick Saban is considering Adam Gase as his offensive coordinator to replace Sarkisian.
I mean, he rehabbed.
So I might be friends with the Alabama offensive coordinator now. How about that?
He rehabbed Sarkisian. Sarkisian could turn down Colorado, and he just got a great job. That's a job that everybody wants, and that's amazing that it's somebody who reportedly had alcohol in his breath during games was able to go through the car wash there at Nick Saban and get cleansed right up, get that liquor smell off of him, and now he can coach at Texas, which is a sweet, sweet job. Mike was mentioning Baker Mayfield, number 1 overall. You want to guess? This is from Michael David Smith. Last 50 drafts, number 1 overall pick, winning a Super Bowl with their team. You want to guess how many times? He's pointing out that the idea of tanking for a quarterback is not something that works very often. For example, I don't know if the stat changed this weekend, but the division leaders, as of last weekend, none of them had a quarterback drafted in the top 5. So you want to take a guess, 50 years of drafts, how many number 1 overall pick quarterbacks have won the title with their team?
Before you get to the punchline, I saw this stat out there, and it's cherry picking. Because if you expand it to the top 10, then all of a sudden you have a bunch of highly drafted quarterbacks.
You don't sound defensive at all.
Well, he's the number 1 overall pick. You can't get better than that, Dan.
Wait, so number 1 overall picks who are quarterbacks. So you're saying they have to be quarterbacks over the last 50 years?
Yes.
I'm going to say 22.
It is Peyton Manning and Troy Aikman.
What? That is Straight Talk. It is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
Tomorrow, Greeny with Mike Greenberg is coming to your mornings.
You need to figure out what you're going to do about Zeke's contract. Zeke Elliott will be the highest paid running back in the NFL next year. How's that look right now?
Greeny, immediately following Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin.
That's real talk, though.
Get him, Key.
Greeny at 10 a.m. Eastern, tomorrow on ESPN Radio.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
We established a hierarchy of how tensions escalate by vocabulary. From the bottom up, escalating tensions, look how high hurly-burly is.
Chicanery, hijinks, malarkey, skullduggery, shenanigans, tiff, spat, quarrel, tomfoolery, skirmish, fracas, hullabaloo, ballyhoo, dust-up, brouhaha, Armageddon, agree to disagree, gloves off, fisticuffs, kerfuffle, hubbub, hurly-burly.
There it is.
Slobberknocker, Donnybrook, riot, war, Palace of Auburn Hills.
In about 10 minutes, the Stugotz Jorge Masvidal fight begins. The flying knee. Stugotz has agreed to take a flying knee. Jorge Masvidal has agreed to administer
to deliver
a flying knee.
If he can catch me.
On your mark.
Is he ready?
Get set.
Stugotz.
All right, go. All right, 1, 2. Oh.
Oh, he dodged it.
He did it.
He dodged
He did
it.
it.
He dodged it. Oh.
He
Careful,
did it.
Stugotz. Yeah, I can't believe that.
And Stugotz is faster than anyone.
He's got Masvidal running. He's got Masvidal running.
Can I just laugh at a chimp throwing feces at a grandma and sticking it to her face without a zoo statement and more barriers? No one's concerned about Grandma. Grandma's grandchildren were howling with laughter as her face smelled like monkey feces because she had a feces nose.
Easy to say when the poop's not on your nose. Do you think you'd be laughing if the poop was on your nose?
Yes!
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, the NCAA will hold the entire 2021 men's basketball tournament in Indiana, with most games taking place in Indianapolis. NFL, the Jaguars dismissed coach Doug Marrone after completing the worst season in the history of the franchise. Jacksonville's the fifth team with a current head coaching vacancy, along with the Jets, Falcons, Lions, and Texans. With the top overall pick in the draft and 4 picks in the first 2 rounds, the Jags' opening should be highly sought after. The Bengals are bringing back coach Zach Taylor next season. The Texans asked for permission to interview Patriots Director of Player Personnel Nick Caserio for their GM job.
Hey, it's Greeny, back and better than ever Monday as the Browns are in the playoffs. Tampa time is going in hot, and the Jet season is mercifully over. We'll talk about that and more with me, Greeny. And starting Tuesday, we're moving to 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN+.
Don Le Batard. Let's go States. Stugotz. Let's go States. This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on ESPN Radio.
All guests on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Goodyear Hotline. Today on ESPN Daily, Bill Barnwell breaks down how the regular NFL season wound up and what to look for as the playoffs begin. That's on ESPN Daily. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
We got funniest thing from the sports weekend coming up here. Billy, you didn't do another useless sound montage, right? You escaped. You were considering doing another useless sound montage, but you went out on a glorious note last week. No need to do another one?
And we needed to end that on a high note. Now, I don't know, maybe another day, maybe another rate, subscribe, review situation. It'll come back at some point in time. Who knows? I guess only time will tell.
Okay, thank you. I don't know why you said that so mysteriously, but I guess only time will tell us that. Yes, so we will do funniest thing in a second. Also, Stugotz, you will find this in the post-game show. Stugotz has a 30 for 30, his final 30 for 30. Well, that one's not even going to be at ESPN. It's going to, well, I guess it is. It's as part of the post-game show. So we don't close down at noon. We've got a little bonus sprinkle, like some remnants left in the toilet. We've got a little bonus sprinkle for you in the post-game show.
But the Michael J. Fox fading away has already begun, Dan. Started with the AC, as you can tell, with the armpit situation, and I think we're off of the ESPN app, at least for some people. So make sure to go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of the larger platform providers and find our post-game.
It is freezing in here.
ESPN, can you just hold on a second? You can tolerate us for 20 more minutes. We'll be out of your way in a second.
Wait, but how is Mike so hot where you can see his pits, the sweat, and he has no buttons on his shirt button anymore?
It's a combination.
It's 10 below in here.
Of different torture techniques in different places and also the cocaine.
Oh.
Here is Christine Lisi.
And finally, the mouth of a jellyfish is also its anus. Speaking of creatures who also have crap spew out of their mouths, Dan and Stu, back to you.
Oh, what a horrible goodbye, Christine.
We love you too.
There wasn't even a wait joke.
Christine, this is awful. What kind of goodbye is this? This is goodbye.
I don't know.
This right here is the last time. Christine, I personally made the request. Hey, can I use Christine Lisi every once in a while? And before I finished the thought, it was no. So
from her.
It was not from her. She was willing. She was able to insult us all month, but it is not allowed. So this is right here, Christine, on air. This is it. This is goodbye. We love you. We love your contributions to our show. We are very appreciative for everything it is that you have done for us in recent months in order to keep us entertained with your giggling and with your cruelty.
I told her this recently. My only regret is not making her a bigger part of the show sooner, because our audience fell in love with her and it was less work for me.
There you go. So, Christine, thank you for all that you did with us. This is an emotional day for us, a meaningful day for us, and we have really enjoyed. I mean, Christine, we go way back, right? We go
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. Christine Lisi, I've said it before, she was very nervous. She was young. She was learning, and they put her in the slot where they put the people who didn't know what they were doing, me and her, and it was very early on Sunday mornings, and look at her now, a pillar of cruelty and fat jokes. So, Christine, we're going to let you go on that note. Thank you for everything. Yes, this feels right. This is, look, it hit Mike.
Yeah.
It's like college graduation.
Yeah, it is.
It's sad and it's hard, and I am so thankful to you guys and to ESPN for giving me this opportunity, and to all the fans who have accepted me. This has been wonderful. Like in a crap ball of a year that was 2020, to be able to laugh with you guys for 2 hours and to be able to just talk about sports in my whole day and to escape everything else. This has been amazing, and I love you guys, and I will miss you terribly. And go Bills.
That was unnecessary. That was no one.
Did not. We love you too.
Yes, it's
you
not
did not
necessary.
need to throw that
Get
in.
out of here, Bills Mafia. So she's right though about 2020 being a ball of crap. So let's do funniest thing from the sports week and see if we can make some people laugh here before we get out of here.
Hey, people, tell us what in the sport made you laugh hardest this weekend. It is a segment we call What Made You Laugh This Weekend. Ha, ha, ha.
Billy, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
The Cowboys missed the playoffs again because of Jason Garrett, Dan.
Roy, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
The Atlanta Falcons Twitter account tweeted out, "We will reportedly interview Eric Bieniemy on Monday for the head coaching position."
Like they're finding it out from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Allegedly, reportedly. Tony, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Nick Saban not being able to hear Allison Williams on the sideline interviews, like, what? I can't hear you. That was great.
He was so mad. Chris, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
After winning the Orange Bowl, Jimbo Fisher was his players were coming upon him with the Gatorade bath, and he sprinted away from them, and in doing so, he pulled his hamstring.
Buddy can scoot.
Yes, he can.
I've never seen a coach get that far away from the Gatorade bath. Have you? Like, he got away pretty quick, Jimbo did, under the circumstances. Stugotz, what is the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
Nate Sudfeld.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Eli Manning just tweeted out, this is why we don't like, he tweeted it to Saquon Barkley, this is why we don't like the Eagles. Mike, what was the funniest thing from the sports weekend?
I think Duncan has a brilliant marketing campaign with Ben Affleck. I don't know if you've seen all these reportedly candid photos of Ben Affleck always carrying one thing in one hand and then struggling to carry mountains of coffee in another.
Yes.
I think he's making millions of dollars off of this.
That is a good theory. Do you have any good theories on the number of photographs that Liam Neeson has been spotted in where it is clear he has peed the front of his pants? Does anyone have any? Yes, there are several photographs all over the place of late-age action star Liam Neeson, and they're just with fans. And for some reason, there's always some spillage. It's not one photograph; it's many different photographs in a lot of different clothes. Anyone have any theory? Billy, you've got a theory on this. What do you?
No, but this is one of the strangest Google searches I'm gonna do on my Corp PC when they get it back.
Do it
Liam
now.
Neeson pees his pants.
Do it now.
I do it, but my computer has stopped working.
Yes, do it right now. Get to the bottom of this.
That's got to be such an embarrassing look for Liam Neeson.
I wish people could see you, man.
He's got so much sweat underneath his armpits. All right, we've got to yell at Greg Cote next. He's snooping around the show again. He's doing things that are annoying. He's bothering Chris. He's bothering me because he wants information on our show because this last segment here, this is it. We got one segment left. Go ahead and call Greg Cote up so that we can yell at him about his journalistic breaches because he wants to write stories about our show. We'll do that next.
This show ain't free. Time for some ads.
All right, let's take a minute here for our friends over at DraftKings. They've been great to us, and we appreciate their support over the years. All the sponsors, thank you very much. It's been an exciting football season. Luckily for us football fans, there is still more action to be had. You may not have been crowned the champion in your traditional fantasy football league this year, but DraftKings is here to help you make it rain. DraftKings is America's leading daily fantasy app, paying out over $7 billion to their players. If you haven't tried DraftKings yet, head to the App Store now because you don't want to miss this. It's simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? Get in the game right now. You can do it from your couch. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now. Use code Dan for a limited time. New customers can get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes this week. Don't miss out on this week's action. Enter code Dan to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit. That's code Dan. Only at DraftKings. Make it rain. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for all the details.
Coming to your mornings.
Is it over for Cam Newton? It certainly looks that way.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg, moving to 10 a.m. Eastern, immediately following Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Tomorrow on ESPN Radio.
Whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today.
Every player matters, and finding the right person can make all the difference.
In 1999, the Indianapolis Colts traded Marshall Faulk to the St. Louis Rams for a second and fifth round pick. The move helped transform the Rams offense into one of the most dynamic in the history of the NFL. They became known as the greatest show on turf. Faulk won the NFL MVP in 2000, and the Rams went on to reach 2 Super Bowls, winning Super Bowl 34.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
When scouting talent, teams use all the tools at their disposal to determine the best fit for their rosters. LinkedIn Jobs works that way for your business. Post a job with targeted screening questions, and LinkedIn will quickly get your role in front of qualified candidates. Manage job posts and contact candidates from a single view as functions are streamlined onto one simple screen. Get $50 off your first job post at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, Chris, go ahead and get started. I'm going to get going now.
Oh, God. It's
All right.
Chris has
Whoa.
to touch it. Oh, God.
Quit dripping it on me.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's poop.
Oh, no.
It's like poop.
Put
Oh,
less
no.
on me so it doesn't drip.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
this is making a mess. This is getting bad.
You fool.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah, you
my
got to smear it
Lord.
in, Chris. Attaboy. Smear it in. Like eye black, yeah?
I am not kidding you that I...
Christopher's literally going to throw up. Oh, my God. It's cold.
Greg's handling it like a champ.
I can't look at it.
Please.
How's the GERD?
Okay, well, we're girding it. Gird Cody. We're,
It's like a face mask. It's like a mask.
all right, that's enough.
Stugotz' career really took off the moment he started trying to spoof Chris Russo instead of be Chris Russo. And so Stugotz was very happy to have Chris Russo on his podcast, but Chris Russo does not quite respect Stugotz as much as Stugotz respects Chris Russo.
Is it a 50-50 thing, or is it Dan Leberfeld with Stugotz?
Stugotz means a lot to Dan Leberfeld. I think I prove that every day behind the scenes with all of those checks I'm writing.
As it is, preteens and teens, you can't get the earbuds out of their ears. You can't get them away from the video game.
Here we go.
It overtakes their whole lives.
A live impromptu back in my day.
That's right.
He doesn't want to write it. He just wants to rant.
Maybe
like
I
a
do
better.
want to rant. Yeah, maybe they're better.
No, I mean, all of a sudden, kids are saying, hey.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah, hold on.
And now,
let's do it.
it is time to take a trip down memory lane.
You got
Here's your guy, Greg Cote, with Back in My Day.
I want you.
Fortnite.
I love
Fortnite.
you. Yes.
I mean, seriously, back in my day, you played Stratomatic.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stugotz, policing your joy.
Act like you've been there.
Been where?
Stugotz, you are the worst. Yep.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Today is for doing. It's brought to you by the Home Depot with everything you need to do projects smarter, faster, and easier. Welcome to today's Home Depot. How doers get more done.
The most horrific thing about 2020 was Greg Cote's feet when he was frying a turkey. Chris Cote put those feet on the internet. Greg Cote, you laugh, but those were Chris. Those are prehistoric feet. I don't know that. I don't know how I haven't noticed that before. Stugotz has clipped both of your father's big toenails as a grid of death punishment. Cote, what is going on with your feet before I start ripping you about snooping around for news on our show?
Well, everybody knows I have league-leading great toes. It's really just my great toenails that are exceptionally long, but they're like talons where they begin to curve down a little bit. And now when I walk barefoot across my tile kitchen floor, I actually hear the clicking of my great toenails on the tile, which is, it's sort of a syncopation thing. I sort of get a beat going, and it's great.
Clicking it.
Billy, you have some thoughts here, Billy, on something?
That's how you know when it's time to cut a dog's toenails, when they make too much noise.
Right. My dog and I click together all over the house. It's great.
Chris, how mad are you at your father? Because he's doing it to me, too. He won't stop asking questions, trying to get news on our show.
Yeah, he says he's not snooping and then texts me every day snooping.
Cody, you're snooping. You're snooping.
I'm not a snooper. I'm not. I mean, I don't snoop. Things are presented to me. My sources, my network of sources all across the world, come to me with information. My Le Batard show sources, it's a vibrant pipeline. I can't help it if you guys don't want to give me information. Soon, the information.
This was the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
We live in a racist country.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.